let's talk about love bombing. That term gets thrown around a lot online, but I want to make sure we actually understand what it means, what it feels like from the inside, and most importantly, why women who are already feeling insecure about their age are especially at risk of falling for it. Because this is not just a dating buzzword. It is a real pattern that causes real harm, and if you understand it clearly, you're far less likely to get caught in it. So, what is love bombing? Love bombing is when someone showers you with an overwhelming amount of attention, affection, compliments, and emotional intensity very early in a relationship, before either of you actually knows each other well enough to justify that level of feeling. It looks like getting dozens of messages every day telling you how amazing you are. It looks like someone saying, "I have never felt this way about anyone after 2 weeks." It looks like grand gestures, constant contact, wanting to spend every moment with you, talking about the future as if it is already decided. From the outside, it might look like passion. From the inside, it feels like finally being seen after a long time of feeling invisible. And that is exactly why it is so effective, especially on someone who has been carrying the weight of feeling like she is running out of time. Think about it from the perspective of a woman who has been told, directly or indirectly, that she is approaching some invisible deadline for love and marriage. She has possibly had a period of loneliness, or a series of dates that went nowhere, or a family gathering where someone made one too many comments about when she's going to settle down. She is not at her most confident. She is a little more tired than usual. And then suddenly, someone appears who thinks she is the most wonderful person in the room. Someone who texts her good morning every single day. Someone who talks about the future with her as if it is a certainty. Someone who, for the first time in a while, makes her feel not just wanted but chosen. Of course that feels incredible. Of course she responds to it. Any person in that situation would. That is not weakness. That is just being human. But here's the part that is hard to explain until you have lived it. Love bombing is not real intimacy. It is the performance of intimacy. It creates the feeling of closeness without the actual foundation of it. Real closeness between two people builds slowly, through honesty, through conflict resolved well, through time spent understanding each other's actual personalities and not just the best day versions of each other. Love bombing skips all of that and goes straight to the feeling, which means the feeling is not built on anything solid. So, what happens next? What happens after the love bombing phase? This is the part that confuses and devastates many women because the transition is jarring. After the intense early phase, which can last anywhere from a few weeks to a few months, the behavior starts to shift. The constant messages slow down. The grand gestures stop coming. The warmth becomes inconsistent. And the woman, who has already become deeply emotionally attached during the intense phase, starts to panic. What did she do wrong? Why did he change? She starts working harder to get back to the good version of the relationship. She becomes more accommodating, more forgiving, less likely to raise concerns because she does not want to push him further away. And just like that, without even fully realizing it, she is now in a dynamic where she is chasing his approval, when just a short while ago, he was chasing hers. The power has completely flipped. And for someone who is already afraid of losing a relationship because she feared being alone, that flip is nearly impossible to recover from without outside help or a very clear moment of recognition. The really unsettling thing about love bombing is that the person doing it is not always fully aware they are doing it. Some people genuinely believe they feel everything they are expressing. Others are more deliberate. But whether it is conscious or not, the effect on the person receiving it is the same. You get attached to someone who is never quite real, to a version of a person that was turned up to maximum intensity on purpose and who cannot or will not maintain that level. And then you spend a significant portion of the relationship grieving the person you fell for at the beginning, who in reality never quite existed. How do you protect yourself? First, slow down, even when everything in you wants to speed up. A person who genuinely wants a real relationship with you will not disappear if you take time to get to know them properly. Someone who pushes you to commit quickly, who makes you feel guilty for wanting to go slowly, who says things like, "I thought you felt the same way," when you express caution, that pressure itself is a signal. Second, talk to your friends. Not to ask their permission, but because the people who know you well and care about you are often able to see things from outside the emotional fog that you cannot. Third, notice how you feel after you spend time with this person. Not during, after. Do you feel calm and secure? Or do you feel anxious, like you are always waiting for something to go wrong? That feeling of low-level anxiety in a new relationship is not excitement. It is a warning. You deserve to be loved in a way that feels safe and consistent, not in a way that is overwhelming at first and then leaves you constantly wondering where you stand. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for Japanese and Korean language learning content, fun ESL class stories, sometimes even the toxic ones, plus videos about pets, plants, and anything interesting I discover in my daily life.